Okay, so the cabin I'm looking at is in Lee Creek, which is on the way to Scotch Creek, past Blind Bay. Here's a Google Earth image of the area. This shows the purple is the view road, the green is the property I'm looking at, and yellow is the laneway above. Here's what the laneway looks on the way in, and here's the sign for the laneway. I just forgot to take pictures when I was on my way in. This shows you lot 9 again. That's what I'm looking at. You'll notice it's only 42.19 feet at the top. This is the image that we most recently got from the surveyor. The little yellow line at the top is where she thinks I should put in the driveway, or red at the bottom. This is the road in, so this is the existing driveway to the bottom of number 8. It crosses underneath the bottom of number 9, so it doesn't actually go over number 9. So there it is going in the hill. Here's a shot of where I could maybe put a parallel driveway in that goes under number 10, which is also 2967. This is me standing just up that road, so I'm standing underneath number 9. Currently the camera's kind of looking at number 8. Now it's looking at the trailer on number 9 and the power pole where I get my power from, which must be the very bottom of the line. And here I am looking at some trees and shrubs. And this is standing up by the RV looking back down onto number 8, and that's up at number 8. And then this shot is looking kind of up the property line of number 9, I think. And this is the RV. You can kind of see the outhouse in that shot that I do not think is on the property. There's Wiley's car because he was brave enough to drive up. And there's looking up the property line, I think. And the RV again, with number 10 off in the background. And there's the shed. Has a bit of rat poo, which the dogs will love, but amazingly the cabin and RV don't have rat or mouse poo. One cool thing about the RV is that it has the flashing underneath, so insulated for winter. And the septic works, the bathroom works apparently. And then yeah, electric to it, and there's the cistern for the water that goes to it. That's looking back down at the power pole and then the lake beyond. Again, just another view of the lake from the RV. And that's standing at the top of the driveway, sort of beside the RV. And now we're up at the cabin, and this is where it gets interesting because everything in that photo is not part of the property. That photo, I don't think those trees all are, but the RV is. That photo again, I don't think any of that's on the property. Same. And then we have this little deck that's been tacked on. I don't love it because it has a plastic roof. I would probably take it down and reclaim the wood. There's Wiley out on the plankway that isn't part of the property. And that right there is where I think the property line kind of is, right at the corner of the cabin. So nothing in that part of the video is on the property.
That's going to be an immediate.
Easy to do though.
So right there, I think might be the property line.
Yeah.
Or a railing right here.
Wiley's talking about putting stairs down there, but we don't know, it's not my property. And I'm just checking out the joists there, which look great. I'm asking him to take video of that little shed, which is irrelevant because it's not on number 9. Lots of storage under the shed, but the cool thing is that it would be possible to lower the kitchen floor to be the same height as the bedroom floor, because the bedroom at the back of the cabin is a lot lower than the kitchen. And once the deck was removed, put in really nice tall. I really was excited by the storage. But anyway, it'd be easier to make it one level with a lower deck that's lower down. big bright windows, nice open concept with a deck, just not split level like it is now. You just saw a little glimpse there of the cistern, fairly new. We were confused at first because we couldn't tell where it hooked up, but I believe it goes underground to the RV at least. I'm not entirely sure it goes underground to the cabin. You can see where they had an outdoor shower hooked up, but it must have frozen because the piping was just external, so it was just removed. In the distance right there, you can see the house on number 11 looking over top of number 10. Oh, and there, I'm just thinking and talking while he's pointing at the shower that's been disconnected. And that hillside isn't as steep as I originally thought. There's a black pipe there. I think it's just drainage from above. So there's that old shower that they just had, an old shower under the deck. And you can see here that's the bedroom is lower down than the kitchen there. So the kitchen is on top of a big hunk of storage. And this is where I was starting to struggle with how a cistern, the space between the cistern and the neighboring lot, the cabin, and the parking could all fit in 42.19 feet. So right here I asked Wiley to pace it off, but we must have obviously we got distracted and didn't end up doing that. So next we go into the cabin. This is the kitchen, which is pretty narrow, not a great use of windows, and just obviously not very modern. I would pretty much tear everything out. There's, looking out the window, you can see the mobile home next door, and then just past it you can see the fancy house on number 11. That's looking out at the deck, which would be removed and lowered. Kitchen. And there is power to the cabin, which is cool. But here you see you have to look down, you have to walk down into the bedroom.
There's storage? What's in there?
And the kitty was very angry that we were there. Poor kitty.
There's some railings in, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's where the entrance would be, where that white curtain is. There's storage behind there now. And then in straight ahead from the entrance would be the bathroom. Once I reno. And then right beside the bathroom would be the bedroom, and then the kitchen, living room area.
Is this luxury for you?
Luxury.
The bedroom might even be kind of a loft.
Sorry, you don't know. You look really mad. Kitty.
And she had blankets stapled to the windows, so I had a hard time looking out.
I think there's a window here. I'm sorry, kitty cat. I just want to look. You're a good kitty. I'm sorry. Sorry to bug you. Yeah? You're a good kitty. Huh.
Yeah, so once it's the same level, it'll have really tall ceilings. It'll be quite beautiful, I think.
That light. So there is an electrical outlet in here.
Yep, electrical everywhere. And there's my walking pole, which I forgot there. Jennifer. Anyway, whatever.
I've got my phone.
And I was too scared to go out on the deck because we hadn't been underneath yet at this point. So Wiley took video of the deck for me. And I was asking him to look to see if I could put a dog door out underneath one of the windows. because you know, priorities.
There's a lot of stuff covering it.
So these are the images that were on the MLS listings. So you can see like the walkway and the cabin are featured prominently, which is misrepresentation. When I first went out, this is the only video I took because I was so distracted. So at that point, I didn't realize that looking down the hill there was two different lots, vacant lots. And I knew that the lot line was right here somewhere, but because of the pictures, I thought that the boat belonged with lot number 8 and that this shed and parking and walkway to the cabin were part of number 9, which made sense based on the photos in the listing. So it was only when and if you look at the listing, it mentions cabin. It does say vacant land, but I thought that's just because a bank wouldn't give you financing for a cabin that was not permitted. So using this map and some Google Earth stuff, I started to twig that there's no way that 42 feet could cover from the cistern to the end of the parking. These are maps. They're a little hard to see. I can send them to you if you're interested. But these maps we got from a surveyor, and they clear up a whole bunch. So if you look at lot number 9, which is the one I'm looking at, the surveyor suggested either putting a little driveway in at the top, the yellow line, or at the bottom, the red line. The yellow dotted line is road allowance, which I had kind of figured out before, but I didn't realize how big it was. And if you look at the existing driveway into the bottom of number 8 and 9, it covers a big chunk of number 8. So no wonder they don't want to give me an easement for that, because those people would be super limited as to where they could build a house. So right now we're looking at just fixing the top so that this one little parking spot and the cabin are included for sure in lot number 9. So if we go back down to where the RV is, that's where I would probably be living. Well, for sure be living. And it has a frickin' amazing view. Once I take out a few of those little branchy branches, I'll have an amazing view of the lake and great southern exposure in the winter. So I'm going to go through with the offer, even if for some reason they don't give me the piece of parking at the top, because I love it.